Hey guys.
Hey.
Welcome back for another episode of Mainly Irrelevant, a geek podcast where we talk about things that are mainly irrelevant. Today we're going to talk about
2019 in review.
I guess we're picking a favorite game each, right?
Yep. One
Alright.
favorite game each.
All right, let's start with you.
It's not my favorite game this year, but it's
Okay,
the most controversial game this year, and I like it, but not for it being the best game. I like it because it is very unique, and that game
is building.
That
Fallout
game
76.
is Fallout. It's Death Stranding, and so for those of you who don't know, I'm a game designer. So when you
Just
look at
all these plugs every single time.
when you look at
Who just what? Who just won the best indie game with Just throw it out there.
when you look at a game, like if you look at all the reviews online about the game, people say it's boring, it's really wonky, and a lot of those are true. But if you look at it through like the perspective of a game designer, it has never been a case where someone made walking that intricate and that fun. It's almost has like a Zen-like kind of feel to it when you're playing it. So it's
I've never played Death Stranding. Can you just explain
Yeah.
what you actually
okay.
do?
Yeah.
So all right. For those who don't know what it is,
I've
so
watched a lot of streams, like hours of streams. All I've seen are people just delivering.
Yeah, it's like FedEx.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
FedEx.
it is that's kind of like the gist of the game. So you basically go to points of interest. It's often like a base or a warehouse or whatever, and you pick up. So it's in a sci-fi setting. So it's in the future America where everything's gone to hell. I'm not going to go deep into the story, but then you basically help strand together all of the cities that were kind of broken apart in the States after something happened. And you move goods from point A to point B on your backpack. Later on, you get vehicles as well, but then at the start, you just basically put stuff on your backpack. And based on how the weight is distributed on your backpack, it affects how you walk and the speed you walk and the way you need to gain balance. You have to hold on to your backpack and stuff like that. There's a whole supernatural kind of vibe to it. You have a baby on your chest. And
Honestly,
he
this
helps
just
you.
Sounds like
He helps
life.
you see.
It's like a young mom.
He helps you see.
Who works as a
You're a young mom
who works as a UPS
Yeah,
worker.
you're strapping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a
And-
single mom with a baby.
God. And yeah, explaining this game is actually really hard. Basically, what you do is when you go from point A to point B, you have to navigate, and they don't provide a system, kind of a navigation system like other open world games like GTA or anything. You basically have to chart your own course, and then you walk it.
Google Maps doesn't work in this future
Yes,
world.
and then
Okay,
the
fine.
terrain is kind of unclear on the map. So as you walk, you kind of have to tweak your path because there's actually a mountain in front of you and you can't actually scale it. But then you also have tools to use like bridges, like ladders and ropes and whatnot. And the cool part about it is the stuff that you place, the bridges and the ropes that you place on the map and any other structures on the map is shared in a server. So when other players get to that part, they would see it. So if I can warn them, okay, this part of the river is really deep. If you walk through it, you kind of drown. Or there might be like rainfall ahead, a time fall. It's basically a mechanic that they use where the raining from above is actually time. So when it hits your cargo, the case kind of deteriorates. You have a jacket that prevents you from getting hurt, but then I don't know why they don't cover the cargo with
So
that
do you actually
material,
write
but
notes like Dark Souls?
You could write notes. You can leave tags. You don't write anything. You just leave a tag. And they have a bunch of tags. Like they
So do
have
the text
different tags.
actually have text? Like is this?
It symbolizes a thing like a deep river or like timefall or like whatever.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
so you can't literally screw people over like in Dark Souls. You can't be like Safe.
They,
What?
so Kojima, the creator of the game,
like you, man.
the creator of
never
the
played Dark
game
Souls.
said that he wanted to only players to only react with each other positively, to put positive impact. But I've also seen a lot of stuff online where people are being dicks to other players,
Right.
And there's ways you can actually do that. But yeah, that's beside the point.
So, why did you pick this as your favorite game?
Because it's controversial. A lot of people really like it, and a lot of people really hate it. And I understand both sides. Like if someone came up to me and I really hate this game, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. I totally understand where he's coming from. This game is significant. It also got nominated for the best for the Game Awards for best game and a couple of other prizes. And a lot of people really hated that being nominated, but it's because they don't think it's a good game at all.
Most people I've seen are like, I hate this game. It's amazing. It's so weird.
To me, it's like it's. I think there's a marketing because Kojima is a really it's like a marketing. He's like a marketing guru. He's really good at marketing his games, and I think it got so good that it became mainstream, where it's more like a very niche product. And it's very different from what he used to make. There are stealth elements similar to what Metal Gear was, but then it's not the core of the game. It's not. And I think if you were going in expecting that, you would have been disappointed. If you went in expecting like a very fun and exciting game, that's also not it. But it is a game that makes you think. It is a game that is very different from all the other existing titles. And I think you kind of have this. It's like different genres of movies, right? You can't, if you go in thinking it's an Avenger movie, but it's actually like an art house, then you're gonna have a bad time. So it's kind of like that, I think. And I think we're at a time where there could be different genres of games and different types of games where it's not just about the fun and excitement. It could be about something else. That's why it's an important title in the history of game making.
Wow, that level.
Yeah. I'm done.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I think I've picked one that I think is objectively just good.
Yeah, go ahead.
Not really controversial, just a good title. And you've played this too.
Yes. I'm repeating it.
Okay, fine. So I like Disco Elysium, and I know you haven't played it.
I haven't played it
but
yet.
You are about to.
Yes, I'm about to, and I would really like to find out what it's about.
No, it's I think the purest description I could have for it is
It's a tabletop RPG.
Yeah, it is a tabletop RPG that is played on a computer. But the lore is very simple. You are an alcoholic cop.
Is it simple though?
No, the story, like the one-liner, right?
So you control one character.
Yes. You are an alcoholic cop who has forgotten everything that's ever happened to you in your life, and you wake up in a drunken stupor, finding out that you are a detective trying to solve a murder case in a town that is it's like a post-communist revolution era.
Yeah.
I'm lost.
So yeah, you control one character,
Okay.
And you're basically it's kind of like a detective story.
Yes.
You going around meeting different characters, trying to pick up like pieces of who you are, picking up pieces of like the lore and like the history of the town.
It's heavily text-based.
It's heavily text-based.
It's 90% text.
Yeah, but they also employ like a really interesting like skill tree system, right?
Yes.
So they have instead of like like the normal sort of RPG things where you have like specific skill
Is it
points.
only on the PC?
I
don't know.
don't
I think
know.
I think it might be.
I don't know.
Yeah, but so instead of like the skill points where it's like attack and defense, like there's no combat in this game.
It's pure narrative. Pure
All of the
dialogue.
skills are like your inner kind of consciousness.
So intelligence.
So how you progress is purely by skill checks.
Yeah.
So basically like a tabletop RPG. So you roll a dice, right? So how
And you actually see the dice being
so
rolled
the percentage
on screen.
of you succeeding in that roll is basically based on your skills.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, and you can go back. Like if you fail a dice roll, you can go and like beef up your skill, or do something else to increase your chances of that being a success. But
Yeah, so it's like it's a detective RPG,
Yeah.
tabletop RPG. But the interesting thing is because you woke up not knowing anything, but you still have a safe case to solve, right? Because
Yeah.
you're a cop.
Yeah.
So the whole story is basically you're trying to find out who you are, and basically trying to solve the case.
Yeah.
Those are basically the two things in the game.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is because you're an alcoholic, you're also effed up. Even just from like the first minute of the game, you know your character's not. You're insane.
Yeah.
Basically, you're crazy.
Yeah.
You're a crazy cop, right? And then the cool thing is depending on what you put in your skill tree, it affects your character.
Yeah.
So you can like put skills in what's called Inland Empire, which is one of the coolest skills.
Yeah.
So basically, you start talking to. Basically, it's your imagination. You become more imaginative. But like if you put too many points in it, so you start talking to yourself, start talking to your clothes and stuff. And then you get responses.
Yeah.
So
It's like one part of your mind is talking to another part of your mind as you're trying to make decisions.
Wow.
So it's like you have like instead of like a guilty conscience or like a angel and demon in your head, there's like 20 things going on.
So
I could see like it being really deep and really replayable. And
Yeah,
Yeah,
so the
for
interesting is like it's very simple skill. It's called perception, right?
Yeah.
So the more points you put into it, the more stuff you see being able to interact with in the world. But the more points you have in it, if it's a super high level, then you hear everything, right? So you start going crazy that way as well.
Yeah. So it's super cool.
But then you pick up a lot of other information from that.
Yes.
But not every piece of information is useful per se for the case, right?
Yeah.
And then you also have like, what was it called? Like the trains of thoughts, like the ideas that you can like create ideas and seed them in your mind. So you could just become like a uber socialist, and you could become like a raging communist.
Yeah, it doesn't shy away from politics.
Yeah, it is very political because they talk. The world is set in like a post-communist revolution age, and the actual case has something to do with like labor unions.
Yeah.
So they talk about trade and like why people are striking, and why people are doing
very
different
relevant.
things. It's super interesting, and they present it in a way that's like kind of like it's dark humor, and it's just all kinds of effed up.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And the best thing about this is when you play these types of games, your dialogue doesn't really affect how people see you, or it doesn't maybe a little, but this one actually it'll change everybody's perception of you.
Yeah.
So yeah, we really not all the dialogue, but like most of the dialogue, you actually have to choose correctly.
Yeah.
Because it changes what thoughts you get, what skills you can develop as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So you build like a reputation. So other people who haven't met you, they already hear about like.
Yeah. Well, like one simple example is if you keep picking dialogue that's really boring, then you get a thought called like normal cop or regular cop, and then people just keep seeing you as just a really boring cop. But because you get that thought, you can develop it, and then you get special points in certain things.
And the cool thing is also you don't know when you will die. That there's some random like conversation
What happens
options.
when you die?
So it's not just like death per se. It's like you lose morale, so you don't want to be a cop anymore.
Yeah.
And sometimes after like 15 minutes of dialogue, then it's like you do something that's like it shakes you to the core, and you don't want to be a cop anymore. It's like game over. It's like damn
So
it.
you have to start from right at the beginning.
Or from your save spot.
Yeah.
You can save at any time.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
I see.
Or like another example is like my character was super weak, but he was super intelligent. I kicked the door and I died. I stubbed my toe. And
Yeah, and like these are things that it's unpredictable, and it's not like in combat where like okay, I know that I might die, so I'll save. Yeah. It's like a random conversation might just shake you to the core,
Then
and like
would
makes
there
you
be a
question your
deadlock where
existence.
like you get yourself into a situation where there's no way of getting out?
No.
Okay.
No.
There are always things that you can do. You don't have to go into this dialogue. You can do something
I see.
before to sort of mitigate that. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you should try it out, and
awesome.
you should try it
I
out
would.
too.
Yeah, it's a really good game.
Cool. And
So, my favorite game of the year, probably a game that not a lot of people knew about. It's called A Plague Tale: Innocence. So, the game is basically about you're in England during the Black Plague, and then you control a female character and her little sister. And basically, when you start the game, somebody came to your estate and basically killed your parents, and then you have no idea why, but they just want something from you. So the whole game is just basically a long stealth mechanic. There's no combat at all, and basically you're just trying to run from people with your sister in tow. So you have people chasing. You have to like climb over stuff. You have to stealth. When I say no combat, there's like distraction elements, like normal in stealth games. So you throw pots and then like they move to a place. And then there's a slightly supernatural element where there's rats. There's a lot of rats. You might have seen this on Reddit somewhere where there's a post that went viral saying the best rat mechanic. So it was a part of the game where you go into a basement and then rats started coming towards you, and then you get a torch and then they start crowding around you like away from the fire. And as you walk, like all these like thousands of rats just start trying to get at you, but your fire is like pushing them away. And basically the whole game is just hugely story driven. The story's amazing. The graphics are really nice. I would, if you like stealth games, I would suggest you try it. Like normally I don't like stealth games. Like when you have a game that allows you to go stealth or pure combat, I would just plow through everything. I really hate stealth, but I absolutely love this game. Like I can't really explain it. It's just
that sounds pretty compelling to me already.
Yeah. It's just the element of like the story and then like the graphics and like the stealth based thing and something. It's really good.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this was on what platform?
I played it on PC. I think it's on PC, PS4, and Xbox as well.
So Plague Tale?
Don't quote me on that.
Plague Tale?
Plague Tale.
Plague Tale.
Yeah, and then Innocence.
Innocence. Awesome.
Probably pick that up too.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, there's plenty of good stuff to look forward to in 2020. I think this will sign off our year, right?
Yeah.
See you guys soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.